The sticker price on a new truck is genuinely one of the least useful numbers involved in buying one, which is unfortunate because it's also the number that gets the most attention. Two trucks sitting next to each other on a dealer lot with nearly identical window stickers can cost you $15,000 to $20,000 apart over 5 years once you factor in everything the salesman doesn't bring up. Things like depreciation, repair costs, insurance, fuel, the actual cost of owning the thing, not just acquiring it. That is what we are doing today. We are ranking the 5 major 2025 half-ton trucks: the Ford F-150, Chevrolet Silverado, GMC Sierra, Ram 1500, and Toyota Tundra by total cost of ownership over 5 years, worst to first. All numbers sourced from Kelley Blue Book, Edmunds, RepairPal, iSeeCars, and CarEdge. No brand loyalty, no agenda, no skipping the parts that are inconvenient for the popular choice. If you've already decided which truck you're buying and nothing is going to change your mind, this video will at least give you a clear-eyed picture of what it's going to cost you. And if you're still deciding, this is probably the most useful 20 minutes you'll spend before walking into a dealership. Before we get into the rankings, let's quickly establish what total cost of ownership actually means, because dealers aren't exactly rushing to explain it to you, not if they want you to still buy the truck. Kelley Blue Book calculates TCO across 7 categories: depreciation, fuel, insurance, financing interest, scheduled maintenance, unscheduled repairs, and taxes and registration fees. All of it over 5 years, assuming 15,000 miles per year. Their data puts the average 5-year cost to own any new vehicle right now at $80,238. The first year alone averages $26,560, which is the most expensive single year because depreciation hits hardest the moment you drive off the lot. Most people know this in theory and then are still surprised when they actually sell the truck. Now, for the number that should make anyone in this segment pause. RepairPal tracks repair costs across millions of vehicles. Full-size trucks average $936 per year in repair costs, compared to $652 per year across all vehicle types. Kelley Blue Book data from 2025 puts the average single auto repair visit at about $838, up roughly 20% year over year. And RepairPal ranks the full-size truck segment 15th out of 19 vehicle categories for overall reliability, 15th out of 19 for vehicles that regularly cost $50,000 or more. Make of that what you will. Despite all of that, the Ford F-Series just posted its 49th consecutive year as America's best-selling truck, 828,832 units in 2025, up 8.3% from the year before. People are clearly not being put off by the cost, which is fine. These are good trucks. But there is a significant difference between loving a truck and understanding what it will cost you to own one, and that difference is what this ranking is built on. One foundational point before we get into each truck. The single biggest cost variable in owning any vehicle is depreciation, what the truck is worth when you sell it versus what you paid. Depreciation consistently outweighs fuel, insurance, and maintenance combined over a 5-year period. It's also the factor people think about least at the point of purchase, which is one of those wonderful ironies of how people spend money. Keep that in mind as we go through the rankings because it explains most of the differences between where these trucks land. Let's get into it. Coming in at number 5 is the GMC Sierra 1500. And right up front, I want to be clear, the Sierra is a well-built, capable truck. This is not a quality issue. The reason it sits at the bottom of this particular ranking is a TCO issue, and it comes down to 2 things. It shares every financial disadvantage of the Silverado, which we'll cover next, and it typically costs more to buy than the Silverado. In a total cost of ownership comparison, paying more for the same underlying truck is not a winning strategy. To be specific about what the same underlying truck means, the 2025 Sierra and 2025 Silverado 1500 share the same platform, the same engine lineup, the same transmission options, and most of the same mechanical components. What you are paying extra for with the Sierra is the GMC badge, a different grille, and some interior and trim differences. Whether those are worth it is a personal decision. From a pure numbers standpoint, they are not. At least not for me. The 2025 Sierra starts around $40,000. Kelley Blue Book data for the Sierra shows average annual maintenance costs of approximately $873, totaling about $4,367 over 5 years. Annual depreciation averages around $3,907, or roughly $19,537 over 5 years, and that is for base configurations. The buyers who show up on the lot and leave with a loaded Denali or AT4 are starting from a much higher number, and the depreciation percentage works against them accordingly. Under the hood, the Sierra offers the same 4 engine options as the Silverado: the 2.7-liter TurboMax 4-cylinder, the 5.3-liter Ecotec 3 V8, the 6.2-liter Ecotec 3 V8, and the 3.0-liter Duramax Turbo Diesel. That diesel is legitimately impressive on fuel economy, up to 23 city, 29 highway, 26 combined per EPA estimates. If you're putting serious miles on a work truck every year, the diesel option meaningfully improves your fuel cost picture over 5 years. It does carry an upfront price premium, and diesel maintenance is its own conversation, but the efficiency case for it is real. The 5.3-liter V8, still the most common choice in this class, returns around 17 miles per gallon combined in 4WD, and Edmunds verified that number is roughly what you'll see in real-world driving. For a truck that weighs the better part of 6,000 pounds, 17 mpg is not embarrassing. It's also not cheap at the pump if you're putting miles on it daily. The 2020 Sierra earned an 86 out of 100 from J.D. Power, a great rating. The reliability track record is respectable. The TCO problem is not that the Sierra is an unreliable truck. The problem is that it depreciates at the full-size truck segment average of 36 to 38% over 5 years, and it costs more to buy than the functionally identical truck parked right next to it on every GM dealer lot in the country. If you paid $50,000 for a loaded Sierra, plan to lose somewhere in the neighborhood of $18,000 to $20,000 to depreciation alone over 5 years. That is before fuel, before insurance, before a single oil change. The Sierra is not a bad truck. It is simply the most expensive way to buy what is, mechanically, a Silverado. If GMC loyalty matters to you, nobody's going to talk you out of it. But if you're comparing these trucks on ownership cost, the Silverado starts cheaper and costs the same to run. That alone is enough to rank the Sierra 5th.
Number 4 is the Chevrolet Silverado 1500, and this is actually where the TCO analysis starts to get more nuanced. Because unlike the Sierra, where the story is mostly about paying more for the same thing, the Silverado's position on this list comes from being solidly, reliably average across nearly every cost category. Which sounds almost like a compliment, it isn't quite one. Start with the positives, because they are real. The Silverado's maximum towing rating reaches 13,300 pounds in the right configuration, which puts it among the top performers in this segment. The base engine, the 2.7-liter TurboMax 4-cylinder, produces 310 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque. 430 pound-feet from a 4-cylinder. The engineers clearly tried. The infotainment system on LT trims and above runs a 13.4-inch Google-integrated touchscreen that works well and keeps getting better. And at approximately $39,695 to start, the Silverado is the most affordable entry point of the 5 trucks in this comparison. That counts for something. Now for the 5-year reality. The Silverado depreciates at roughly 36 to 40% over 5 years, which puts it right at or slightly above the full-size truck segment average. When most buyers end up at a transaction price in the mid-40s to mid-50s, that depreciation rate translates to a substantial dollar loss, not a catastrophic one, but a real one. On fuel, the 5.3-liter V8 in 4-wheel drive, which is still the powertrain a significant portion of buyers choose because it feels like the sensible truck choice, returns an EPA-estimated 17 mpg combined. At 15,000 miles per year and $4 a gallon, that's roughly $3,500 in annual fuel cost, which compounds to $17,000 to $18,000 over 5 years. That's a line item that tends to surprise people who are focused on the monthly payment. There is a genuinely good option for people who want better fuel numbers without sacrificing the Silverado's capability. The 3.0-liter Duramax diesel. It gets 23 city, 29 highway, and 26 combined, the best fuel economy rating of any engine in this comparison.
The Duramax has been in the Silverado since the 2019 redesign and is a well-understood, mature engine at this point. The upfront cost is higher, diesel prices fluctuate, and diesel service has its own cost profile, but for high-mileage owners, the math on the diesel is often favorable. One genuinely clever piece of GM engineering worth mentioning is the dynamic fuel management system in the 5.3-liter and 6.2-liter V8s. Most people know about basic cylinder deactivation, turning off half the cylinders at light load. GM's system operates across up to 17 distinct cylinder firing patterns, adjusting continuously based on driving conditions rather than just flipping between 4 and 8 cylinders. It's a more sophisticated approach than it sounds, and it provides real fuel economy improvement in everyday driving. The Silverado's repair cost profile tracks the segment average of roughly $936 per year per RepairPal. Maintenance is average, insurance is average, depreciation is average. Everything is average, like literally everything. And that is exactly the point. The Silverado is a good truck that costs about what you'd expect a full-size truck to cost over 5 years. No disasters, no surprises in either direction. If the Silverado's specific powertrain lineup or its infotainment system are meaningful factors for you, there is a real case to be made for it. But if you're running a strict total cost of ownership analysis, average performance across every financial metric is not the path to the top of this list.
Number 3 is the Ford F-150. And yes, the best-selling vehicle in America for 44 consecutive years ranks 3rd in a total cost of ownership comparison. That is not an insult. It is a reflection of what the data says. The F-150 is outstanding. It is also expensive to own. Both things are true simultaneously, and neither cancels the other out. The sales numbers alone are worth stating. Ford sold 828,832 F-Series trucks in 2025, the 49th straight year at the top of the truck sales charts, and the 42nd consecutive year as the best-selling vehicle of any kind in the United States. The F-150 was the top seller in 29 out of 50 states last year. Kelley Blue Book has given it the Best Buy award in the full-size truck segment for 10 consecutive years. Edmunds rates it as the highest-scoring full-size pickup in their evaluation system. The 2025 model earned a 5-star overall safety rating from NHTSA. On maximum towing, Ford's 14,000-pound figure leads the half-ton class. On payload, configurations exceeding 3,300 pounds are available. On raw capability, nothing in this segment beats it. For 2025, Ford standardized the 2.7-liter twin-turbo V6 across the entire F-150 lineup. 325 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque is the baseline before you get to the 3.5-liter EcoBoost, the 5-liter V8, or the PowerBoost hybrid. The F-150's engine menu has something for essentially every buyer. Ford also reduced the F-150's configuration complexity by 90% compared to the 2023 model year. A behind-the-scenes business decision that simplified ordering without meaningfully reducing what's available to buyers. Now the cost picture. Kelley Blue Book puts the 5-year cost to own on a 2025 F-150 Super Crew at $85,778. Of that, $38,736 is depreciation, money paid for a depreciating asset that you will not recover. Out-of-pocket expenses for fuel, insurance, maintenance, and financing account for the remaining $46,642. Edmunds independently estimates the full 5-year ownership cost at over $70,000. Both figures are real, and neither is a knock on the truck's quality. They're simply what it costs to own the most popular truck on the road.
There are 2 legitimate bright spots in the F-150's cost profile. First, maintenance. CarEdge data shows the F-150 averaging $719 per year in maintenance over the first 5 years, which is $657 below the pickup segment average. For the best-selling truck in America, that is a meaningful competitive advantage in operational cost. Ford has clearly worked to keep scheduled maintenance costs from becoming a complaint point for F-150 owners, and it shows. Second, the PowerBoost hybrid. The F-150 hybrid sold 84,934 units in 2025, up 15% year over year, and retained its position as America's best-selling full-size hybrid pickup. For buyers who put high annual mileage on a truck, 20,000 miles a year or more, the fuel savings from the hybrid start to close the gap with trucks ranked above the F-150 on this list. The The math on the power boost improves meaningfully the more miles you drive. The central issue is depreciation. iSeeCars data shows the F-150 losing about 37.9% of its value over 5 years, slightly above the full-size truck segment average of 36.6%. CarEdge puts 5-year value retention at roughly 50%. The volume of F-150s on the road is part of why. When you're ready to sell the most common full-size truck in the country, you're competing with every other F-150 seller in the same market. Supply and demand is not your friend at that moment. Insurance runs approximately $2,414 to $2,424 annually for a standard F-150 per CarEdge, middle of the pack for this segment. The F-150 ranks third because it fails in no category, but because 2 trucks in this comparison managed to cost less over 5 years while delivering comparable capability. That is the story of this ranking, and the F-150 is the clearest illustration of the gap between best truck and lowest cost to own.
Number 2 is the Ram 1500, and this one requires some honest accounting of both what the truck does exceptionally well and what remains unresolved, because in 2025, both of those things matter significantly to the total cost of ownership calculation. Start with the driving experience, because it's the Ram's strongest card. Edmunds, after extensive real-world testing, called it the best riding pickup you can buy. That's not a marginal compliment. The Ram's coil spring rear suspension and available 4-corner air suspension on higher trims, like the auto leveling system on the Limited, absorb road imperfections in a way that feels genuinely different from anything else in this class. In a head-to-head test, a Ram 1500 Tungsten with a high-output Hurricane engine ran 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.7 seconds. In a truck that weighs over 5,000 pounds, that is a number that requires a moment of consideration. CarBuzz named it Truck of the Year for 2025. The recognition is not coming from nowhere. Now for the part that requires a longer conversation. For the 2025 model year, Ram discontinued the 5.7-liter Hemi V8 as an option in the Ram 1500. The Hemi, which had been in Ram trucks for decades and developed a loyal following, was replaced with 3 engine choices: the 3.6-liter V6 Pentastar at the entry level, and 2 variants of the new 3-liter twin-turbocharged inline-6 called the Hurricane. Standard output is 420 horsepower and 469 pound-feet of torque. High output is 540 horsepower and 521 pound-feet of torque. Those are impressive figures for a half-ton. The Hurricane engine is not a rushed design. Stellantis began developing it around 2013. The first production units rolled out in November 2021 at Stellantis' Saltillo engine plant in Mexico. It debuted in the Jeep Grand Wagoneer in 2022, making it to the Ram 1500 for 2025. Less than 5% of its components carry over from any prior Stellantis engine. It is essentially a clean sheet design. And clean sheet designs, even well-developed ones, tend to have a first-year learning period. The 2025 Ram 1500s has been more eventful than most. Consumer Reports collected owner data on the 2025 Ram 1500 throughout the year, and the reported issues were specific enough to take seriously. Multiple owners documented check engine lights within the first 1,000 miles. Several described batteries draining if the truck sat for more than a day. At least one owner reported cylinder misfires at approximately 8,400 miles, traced to a loose turbocharger clamp. Early overheating events were documented, generally pointing to thermostat and coolant coupling failures rather than internal engine damage. Infotainment lag was a recurring complaint in the background of most reviews. Stellantis addressed the majority of these through technical service bulletins and software updates, according to automotive journalist Tim Enderstall at Pickup Truck Talk, who owns a 2025 Ram 1500 RHO as a long-term review vehicle, and wrote in early 2026 that overall owner satisfaction has improved considerably. There is one positive durability data point worth including. The Drive documented a 2025 Ram 1500 Rebel that accumulated nearly 48,000 miles over roughly 1 year as a rental vehicle. Multiple drivers, inconsistent maintenance, the kind of use that tends to surface problems quickly. No major drivetrain failures were found at the time of inspection. That is encouraging, even if 48,000 rental miles does not tell you what happens at 150,000. What tells you more than any individual data point is this. For the 2026 model year, Ram reintroduced the 5.7-liter Hemi V8 as an available option. Ram removed the Hemi in 2025 and within a single model year brought it back.
You can interpret that generously, responding to customer preference, offering more choice, giving the market what it asked for. You can also interpret it as a manufacturer responding to buyers who are not confident enough in a new engine to commit to $40,000+ around it. Both interpretations are reasonable. Neither one is comforting if you already bought the 2025 model. One additional detail that tends to surprise buyers, the 2025 Ram 1500 does not have an oil dipstick. Oil level is monitored entirely through electronic sensors. For a truck pitched partly on being a serious working vehicle, eliminating the ability to do a quick manual oil check is a design choice that has not gone unnoticed by mechanics or owners. On the numbers, Kelley Blue Book places the 2025 Ram 1500 Quad Cab's average annual maintenance cost at approximately $1,459, totaling roughly $7,296 over 5 years, notably higher than most competitors in this group. CarEdge estimates the full 5-year ownership cost at approximately $72,022. Annual depreciation from KBB runs about $4,172 per year, or $20,863 over 5 years. Annual insurance sits around $2,398 nationally per CarEdge. Despite those figures, and despite the reliability question mark, the Ram ranks second for 2 substantive reasons. iSeeCars data shows the Ram 1500 as the second best full-size truck for resale value retention at 62.2% over 5 years, just above the segment average. And Edmunds extended ownership testing confirmed that the driving experience and interior refinement are real, not just press material. If the Hurricane engine establishes a clean long-term record as more trucks accumulate miles, the Ram's TCO case gets stronger. That record does not exist yet. It will take another year or two of real-world data to know. The honest bottom line, the 2025 Ram 1500 is the right truck for the buyer who values ride quality, performance, and interior refinement, and is comfortable with some uncertainty about a brand new engine architecture. If you need to know your truck will run for 200,000 miles without drama, the Hurricane i6 has not yet earned that confidence. That may change. Right now, you're placing a bet.
Number 1 is the Toyota Tundra. And the most honest thing to say about it winning this ranking is that it's not particularly surprising. The Tundra has been at or near the top of 5-year cost of ownership analyses for years. The depreciation data is consistent. The repair cost data is consistent. If anything, the interesting question is why more buyers don't factor it into their decision. But that is probably a conversation about how humans actually make large purchases, and that's a different video. Here are the numbers. The 2025 Toyota Tundra starts at approximately $41,260 to $43,335, depending on configuration. That is one of the higher base prices in this comparison. On the dealer lot, comparing window stickers, the Tundra looks like the expensive option. Over 5 years, it is not. iSeeCars analyzed over 15 million vehicles to calculate 5-year depreciation across the market. The Toyota Tundra depreciates 28.7% over 5 years. The full-size truck segment average is 42.5%. The Tundra is 13.8 percentage points below the average for its own category. J.D. Power named the Tundra 2WD the best resale rating winner in the large light-duty pickup category in 2025. CarBuzz data shows the Tundra retaining roughly 78.6% of its value after 5 years, 16.9% above the segment average. In Kelley Blue Book data, annual depreciation for the 2025 Tundra Double Cab runs approximately $2,554 per year, totaling about $12,772 over 5 years. The 2025 Ram 1500 Quad Cab, by comparison, depreciates approximately $20,863 over the same period. What? That is an $8,000 difference in depreciation alone between the second and first place trucks. Not a rounding error, not a configuration quirk, $8,000 that stays in the Tundra owner's pocket. The maintenance cost story is similarly clear. RepairPal tracks annual repair costs for the Tundra at $606 per year against a full-size truck segment average of $936. That is a 35% reduction in average annual repair cost. KBB maintenance data for the 2025 Tundra Double Cab shows about $830 per year in total maintenance, or roughly $4,152 over 5 years. Kelley Blue Book placed the 2025 Tundra in the top 10% for total cost of ownership among all full-size pickup trucks.
Toyota as a brand ranks 8th out of 32 automotive brands on RepairPal, with an average annual repair cost of $441 across all models. These numbers exist for a reason, and the reason is not statistical noise. In 2016, Toyota purchased back a 2007 Tundra from a man named Victor Shepard because he had driven it over 1 million miles on the original 5.7-liter V8 engine and the original transmission. Toyota wanted the truck for engineering analysis and gave Shepard a new Tundra as a replacement. By April 2025, that replacement Tundra had also passed 1 million miles, again without a major drivetrain overhaul. 2 trucks, 2 million miles, 1 owner. The used truck market prices that kind of reputation into resale values, which is precisely why the Tundra's depreciation curve looks the way it does. The 2025 Tundra comes with 2 powertrain options, the 3.4-liter iForce twin-turbo V6 making 389 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque, or the iForce Max hybrid making 437 horsepower and 583 pound-feet. Max towing is rated at 12,000 pounds, below the F-150's class-leading 14,000 pound figure, but within the range that covers the majority of real-world towing. The standard V6 and 4WD configuration is EPA rated at 17 city, 23 highway. The 2WD version reaches 20 city, 24 highway.
Now, the honest weak point, Edmunds' real-world testing on the Tundra returned 15.2 miles per gallon, meaningfully below the EPA's 19 mpg combined estimate for 4WD configurations. That gap is wider on the Tundra than on several competitors, and it matters at higher mileages. Buyers should also know that the iForce Max Hybrid is calibrated primarily for added performance output, not fuel economy, unlike Toyota's passenger car hybrids. The Tundra Hybrid does not offer significantly better real-world fuel numbers than the non-hybrid version. If you're buying the hybrid expecting to save at the pump, that expectation will not be met. Even accounting for a fuel cost disadvantage of approximately $300 to $400 per year versus more fuel-efficient competitors, the Tundra's $8,000 depreciation advantage over the Ram alone more than covers that gap over 5 years. The lower maintenance costs extend the lead further. One more detail worth noting. The Tundra is assembled in San Antonio, Texas, not imported, built in Texas by American workers, which tends to surprise buyers who assume Toyota means overseas production. The verdict on the Tundra is straightforward. Higher purchase price, real-world fuel economy gap you should know about, maximum towing that falls short of the F-150, and the lowest total cost of ownership in the 2025 half-ton segment, by a margin that the fuel economy gap cannot close. The numbers make the case more clearly than any endorsement. To wrap it up cleanly, 5th place, the GMC Sierra 1500, a well-built truck that costs more than the Silverado it is mechanically identical to. There is no financial argument for the badge premium in a TCO comparison. 4th place, the Chevrolet Silverado 1500, the most affordable starting price in this group at around $39,695, solid capability, good technology, average everything else. Average depreciation, average repair costs, average fuel economy. It costs about what a full-size truck costs to own, which is not cheap. 3rd place, the Ford F-150, the best-selling vehicle in America for 44 years running and the most capable towing package in the half-ton class at 14,000 pounds. The 5-year cost to own sits at $85,378 per Kelley Blue Book, with $38,736 of that going to depreciation. The Power Boost hybrid improves the math for high-mileage buyers. Strong truck, strong reputation, strong price tag to match. 2nd place, the Ram 1500. Genuinely the best ride quality and most refined interior in this comparison. A brand new engine architecture in its first production year in the Ram, with documented early owner reliability issues that Stellantis has been actively working to address. iSeeCars rates its resale value 2nd in the segment. The Hemi coming back for 2026 is either a response to market preference or an acknowledgement that buyers were not fully convinced, possibly both. The jury on the Hurricane is still in deliberation. 1st place, the Toyota Tundra.
5-year depreciation of 28.7% against a segment average of 42.5%. Annual repair costs of $606 versus a segment average of $936. Kelley Blue Book top 10% ranking for total cost of ownership in the full-size truck category. J.D. Power best resale rating. Assembled in San Antonio, Texas. Documented longevity that the used vehicle market prices in accordingly. Now, here's a couple things to leave you with. This ranking answers one specific question: which of these trucks cost the least to own over 5 years? It does not answer every question. If your work genuinely requires 14,000 pounds of towing capacity, the F-150's leadership there is real and relevant. If you drive a Ram 1500 and the ride quality changes how you feel about your daily commute, that is a legitimate consideration that does not show up in a depreciation table. Total cost of ownership is one lens, and it's an important one, but it's not the only lens. What it does do is make visible the costs that the purchase process tends to obscure. Depreciation is not mentioned in the financing office. Repair cost averages are not printed on the window sticker. Insurance compounds quietly. The difference between the best and worst 5-year ownership cost in this comparison can exceed $15,000 to $20,000, and that number is never part of the conversation when you're signing paperwork. If you're shopping right now, here's the single most useful thing you can do before stepping onto a dealer lot. Go to Kelley Blue Book or Edmunds and run the 5-year cost to own on the specific trim you're actually considering, not the base model, the one you're going to buy. Enter your real annual mileage. Then look at the same figure for at least 2 or 3 competing trucks. The comparison takes about 20 minutes, and it gives you a complete financial picture that the dealership is not going to hand you voluntarily. If you own one of these 5 trucks, drop the year, the engine, and your current mileage in the comments, particularly if you're past 150,000 or 200,000 miles. Real-world longevity data from actual owners is worth more than any database average, and I genuinely want to see what people are getting out of these trucks in the long run. If you like this video, please subscribe. See you later.